Greetings, everyone. It's me, Michelle. Gonna take you on a walk with me again this morning. My morning here. I said, well, maybe that's something I'll start doing sometimes when I walk somewhere or something like that. I'll just take you with me sometimes, you know. I'll be starting back with my regular channel schedule on Monday. So Sunday's the last day for the channel break for a while till whenever. I have it written down on my calendar because I do my schedules way out a year, and then I add and subtract as I go depending on what I have to do and what comes up, you know. But I try to schedule my time, blocks of time, to just keep as downtime, just so that I can refresh, you know. And I think everybody should do that. I think that's just something that you should automatically build into your schedules, you know. And I think what helps is that if you if you forecast your schedule out tentatively, then it helps you to make sure that you are scheduling, time to just have downtime, or to do the things that you want to do, or to whatever, or to have time to take care of things that you need to take care of. If you automatically build that into your schedule, then it makes it easier to stick to it. And then that way you have dedicated time to do that, you know, and stick to it. Just be firm. Just be firm about it, you know. And that's one thing that I did, what I learned when I worked, because I worked 2 and 3 jobs sometimes, you know. I'd have a full-time job, a full part-time job, and a seasonal part-time job. And the seasonal part-time job, I could be there whenever I felt like it. I showed up when I felt like it. And the full part-time job, I had scheduled hours I had to be there, but they weren't usually that many. And then my full-time job, whatever that was, my 40 hours a week, you know. And but it just made it easier for me, you know, going in, telling, like when I would you know, work with somebody or work with an employer, before I hire on, I already had an idea. I said, look, before I signed off on anything, I told them ahead of time the dates that I had tentatively set aside, so that I could dedicate whatever it was that I wanted to do or needed to do on those dates. So, I mean, it's a way of being able to manage your life, you know, and be organized, and still build in time for yourself and your families, or whatever it is, you know, or for taking care of business, or whatever it is. Because some things that you do or have to do, you can only do them through the weekdays, or there's just only certain days that you can do it. And they're usually, some of these things are things that you have to do, you know, quarterly or annually, or whatever, monthly, or whatever the situation is, you know, weekly, monthly, biannually, whatever, you know. We could just keep going on and on with that. The point I'm trying to make is that if you become proactive and forecast your schedule ahead, it just makes it easier for you to dedicate time for the things that you set the time aside for, whatever that is, you know. And always, even if you have a family, you should always set aside time for yourself, for your renewal too, okay? And everyone should have that, you know. And you should work your, I mean, you know, I feel like everybody should have that. I think family units are very important, depending on where you're at and what your culture is. But I think it helps when you have family around you and you all stick together, you know. Because when sometimes somebody might have a problem and the other one could be there for them, you know, to help them get through it, you know. Especially when you have children, you know, everybody can kind of help with the kids and stuff like that, so you don't have just oddball people watching your children, because they don't always, they're not going to have the same feelings that you have for yours, your loved ones. And so let's don't take that out of context. I don't want people to come jumping on me about that. I meant what I said. If there's nothing, you're not doing anything, there's nothing to feel offended about. So, you know. I think one thing that's important is that as a society, we need to get back to being more honest, not so much in a way where it's tearing people down, you know, but to build them, try to build them up and give them sound advice to help them, you know. Nobody's perfect. We all fall short. So, and people shouldn't have their mistakes. Just keep, every time, you know, you get an opportunity to keep bringing it up either. You know, if you already said you were sorry for something, that's enough. That should be enough, you know. And I think we overblow that, you know. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not saying it's not important. It is. But when you say you're sorry, mean it. You know? If you're not sorry, just say I apologize. Even if you know, because you might not be sorry. You know, little simple stuff. Going back to common sense behavior. I gotta watch these people because they will run me over because they're just so rude. They just gotta hurry up. Everybody's got to be first, you know. They just going down the street, but I get it. If something happens and they don't have their cars, they're going to be the first ones huffing and puffing and crap. People are afraid to get out. And see, if it was the bullies, okay, bullies, okay, this is for you bullies, okay? You're not going to run me over, okay? I'm not going to let you. I'm not. So I'm going to get outside and walk. And if more people would come outside and walk and be a part of their community, then the bad guys couldn't take over like they doing. Is something bad going to happen sometimes? But it was just because bad things happen sometimes anyway. But why not stand up? You know? For what's right. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. I'm not trying to act like I'm floating on a cloud somewhere. But let's have common sense, okay?